Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Real Talk and Reviews by Karanda. I am Karanda Glover, or Auntie K as I'm known. We're going to have, today is Thursday, and I'm going to have a series. It's going to be a series on here about Thriving Thursday, but I just wanted to come on and just give this a shot. You know, it seems like I'm not even going to go there, but I got some real talk for you all today, okay? It's taken a lot for me to come on here and speak to you all, your family. We all talk to each other, but even amongst family, I tend to stay quiet. And Auntie's been going through a lot. And Auntie's been having to motivate herself as well as other people because I do motivate other people. And a lot of times you can work through your problems helping other people. And I have been doing that. I have been helping people who have been thriving, been doing really well. I've managed to stay positive the whole entire time with a smile on my face and keep them uplifted. But sometimes when you're pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring, a lot of times when you're continuously pouring into other people, sometimes you need to be poured into back. And it seems a lot of times that I don't have anyone else to pour into me. That's why I always lean to God, because you can never depend on man anyway. Someone to say they'll be there for you and they're actually not. So you cannot be upset with that person for being who they are. You just have to accept who they are and continue to move on. But I've been leaning a lot towards God and trying to get closer and closer, because Auntie's lost too, just like you all are. I'm lost too. I have my days, just like you have your days. I'm not going to claim depression because I don't want to be aligned with that negative spirit. But you have those days where you don't feel so good. You don't feel like getting up. You don't feel like combing your hair or putting on your wig, doing your makeup. You don't want to do anything but just lay there and kind of disappear and become non-existent. But I don't have the luxury of doing that because I am raising my 4-year-old grandchild, as I told you all before. I've never given you all the backstory on it, but yeah. I am 51 years old and I'm starting over again raising children. I've had him since he was 2. He's going to be 5 this year in December. And it has been a struggle because, for one, this new parenting style is different because I don't have the energy like I did back when I was in my 20s. And I could go ahead and discipline them, right then and there. Don't let anything slide. You have the energy to get up, get them, put the fear of God in them. I'm tired. This is the hardest thing for me to do. I see people do stuff like this all the time where they're crying into the camera on Instagram, which I would not be putting this on Instagram because I got too many nosy family members on there. Well, I'm not going to say nosy. Let me take that back. I have too many family members on there who do not know what I'm going through because I choose not to. I don't want it to go through the flow or what you call it, newsletter of the family. Because you just have some that do that instead of calling, hey girl, what's up? Do I need to, what do you need? Instead of helping you is, hey girl, you know what Karanda's going through? She's doing this. She's on TikTok. She's crying. She's doing all this, just boo-hooing. You should see this. Okay. Now you get what I'm saying. Some people don't care. Some people's like, okay, I just give up. If somebody sees me doing it, I'm just going to do it. But my YouTube family, you all are more forgiving than the people on TikTok and Instagram. I don't ask for any handouts. I have been doing this for quite some time. And it was sustaining me. But, you have to continue to talk to people. You have to get a lot of value and information for free so people can see you're not just out for the money. And I do have a hard time charging people. And I've learned to get over that because I had another friend of mine who sent me something showing about, not being scared to charge people or charge people your worth, because I have a wealth of information up here that needs to come down in a computer or something or in a book so that I can sell and tell people about. But I'm one of those informative people. If I know the information, I normally give it to you because I don't want to see anybody else struggling. I don't want to see anybody else going through, what I'm going through. And if I know I can help and I know a way of helping, I'm going to do it. But that has, over the years, has proven to be not so effective because, in a sense, not because it's not helping them, but in a sense, it's not helping me. Because a lot of times they say you go through your problems and you're able to help people and it ends up helping you. Well, in this day and age, you know who we have for the president. I'm going to leave that there. This is like, the 23rd to 24th day of the government shutdown. So a lot of people are tightening up their wallets. They're not really paying for anything. And they're going through. I am trying to be that motivation to try and get you all through. But, sometimes I need some motivating too. And today, how some people have that breaking point? I do believe today is that breaking point because I'm tired. I'm like you all. I'm tired, flesh. I pray. I talk to God. I read the Bible. Sometimes flesh just takes over. It's human nature, it just does that. And today, flesh is taking over as much as I've been trying to avoid it. But, this morning I couldn't get up for the life of me. I don't know why. And alarmed when I got home and started thinking about the alarm and steady going off loud too. I kept telling her, shut up. Alexa, shut up. Siri, shut up, And I realized what it was. It was God trying to wake me up. And I just wanted to roll back up and go back to sleep. I was too much into self. Not thinking about it, but I was too much into self. And I got up late. I had to get my grandbaby to school by 9 o'clock. And I was pushing it. How you always get in front of that person that's slow when you're in a rush. And I could have made it on time by, I had 2 minutes to spare. But they were going slow as all get out. And I made it there by 9 o'clock. But when I walked in the building to clock on it on the little pad thing, it was 9:01. So I asked her, I says, 9:01 okay? And she says, well, this is absolutely the last time. I said, okay, thank you. And I got to thinking, you have people and teachers and places that don't think, okay, she's normally not like this. She normally has him up. She's normally up here on time. We normally don't have any problem. Let's see what's going on. You have some that do that, and you have some that don't want to because some people are offended. But how are you going to find out what's going on with that person? Because whatever's going on with that mother or guardian could inadvertently be affecting the child. So I didn't have time to get him anything to eat. I just gave him some Cheez-Its because that's normally what he likes to eat anyway. Ran and stole oatmeal cooking. And I forgot to give him something to drink. We get to the school. They're having his favorite hash browns. He wanted a hash brown. The teacher said she didn't have any more. They pressed the button to see and said that they didn't have any more hash browns because they had threw it away. Because, they decided to go ahead and start on lunch. It was 9 o'clock, my fault, not his. I didn't know that through the way, because normally they have more than enough. I don't know if she's trying to do something against me, to count against me or what, because she will trip over herself to make sure she hands me that bill if I'm late, and they charge you for that by the minute. I was 2 minutes late, so I got charged $14. No, 3 minutes late, so I got charged $13. And she was so busy tripping over trying to give me the bill that she didn't even remember to give me my baby's inhaler. I mean, she was busy. She literally was tripping over stuff trying to here's the bill, but did not give me my grandbaby my inhaler. So it's been so hard, and I am just so tired. I've managed to keep all the bills on, so I got away by the grace of God, I guess is what you could say. I managed to keep, by the grace of God. I got an eviction notice, and they did it so smooth too. They did it on a Friday for me to be out Monday. Woo. If I don't have money to pay the rent, how am I going to get out? You know what I'm saying? But I digress. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. And I called that woman and I just talked to her and told her, look, nobody plans on losing their job. Right now, there's a lot of them evidently that's going through it, because I tried to find an agency to help. And she's like, well, we already have this I-9, W-9, whatever it is, on file. So for some reason, we're getting a lot of people who need assistance. For some reason. These are the people who are paying your salary, but you're not trying to figure out what's going on. What happened, the other girl we had, she was able to work with us, and she also was looking for resources to help us out, because she didn't want to see us, getting evicted. This one here, she's brand new. I don't know what she's doing. God bless her soul. And it's not her fault. She's just doing her job. Like they say, don't shoot the messenger. I'm trying my best not to make this longer. I really, really am, because once you get to a certain point, it does not want to render on YouTube. But I'm tired, I'm trying to be grateful, because, gratitude is supposed to... My internet is off. My grandbaby wanted to watch TV this morning. I tell him, no, baby, the internet is broken right now. You can't. I got him to school today. They didn't have anything. The hash brown he wanted to eat, and I feel so bad because I didn't get to get him something to eat other than Cheez-Its, because I normally make sure he has his food. I feel so bad seeing my baby lip poked out like that, because they didn't have any more. Because Gigi couldn't get up in time to make sure he had breakfast. It was just hard, I've been struggling. It's really, really hard. There's no way to get any type of assistance right now because of the government being shut down. They're not accepting any new applications in it. I tried to stay off assistance because, I got on it when I was younger because someone told me about it. I didn't know anything about that. We didn't grow up on assistance, so I couldn't tell you anything about it. And so it told me what to do and how to get it, and I was able to get on it for the time being that I needed. But other than that, I worked. I am 51 years old. I have to get back on it. But they're shut down. The food banks are pretty much depleted. The agencies that help out with bills and stuff are depleted. They have no funding left, and they're feeling sad themselves by saying, baby, I am so sorry. We're having to turn away so many people. You can hear it in their voice. Some people is like, I'm sorry, I know nothing I can do, but you can hear it in their voice. They're like, I'm so sorry. There's nothing we can do, with the government shut down. There's nothing we can do. We're so sorry. We can't help. We have so many people calling. And I'm just sitting there like, how you start replaying things in your mind? You start trying to figure out what could you've done differently so you wouldn't be in this situation. I am 51 years old. I have never been in this situation before in my life. And like they say, you have to forget the person who done things to you. One of the videos way back before, I explained to you all why I was going through the series of overcoming the difficulties of divorce, because I went through divorce this year. My then husband, my ex-husband now, he left me out of the blue uh, for his ex-wife, and he's considerably older than me. And he was a minister at that. And it just left me financially strapped. And it seems like I've been having the hardest time. Y'all forget the notes. It seems like I'm just having the hardest time snapping back. And I have never been that way. I've always been independent. I've always been able to take care of myself, my children, because my first husband acted like he was allergic to work. And baby, I just went ahead and left him, and I raised him 3 kids on my own. I did that, okay? I went to school and raised him. And with the economy being the way it is now, it's just very difficult to do that. Back then, I could feed my 3 kids on $20 for a week. You know what I'm saying? But $20 in your tank and you good. Now, $20, you can get 3 or 4 things from the store. You can put $20 in your tank, and you most definitely will barely not get a quarter of a tank. And trying to make food stretch is difficult. I know you look at me like, oh, you're fat. You know, you like, yeah, I'm fat, baby. But I've also lost some weight behind this because I make sure my baby eats. My daughter comes here from college. She doesn't know, what we do and don't have, because I always make sure they have a meal, I may not eat. And I just tell them, I'm nibbling a little bit, so she sees I'm eating something, and I won't eat anymore because I'm making sure they have. You know what I'm saying? It's not their fault. She's in college. I don't want her to have that on her head. She's got all those classes and stuff and homework. I don't want that on her head. And my grandbaby, it's not his fault. It's not his fault that his mother is not doing her job, so it's had to be put on me because he didn't ask to be born. And Gigi's always been able to take care of everything. Auntie has always been able to take care of everything. But now it is so, so difficult. It is very difficult. That's why I always tell people, and I preach to them and tell them, just lean unto God. Lean unto God and not to your own understanding. And I have been doing it, but sometimes you get into flesh and it's just very, very difficult. I don't mean to sound pitiful on here. It's just, everybody has their breaking point. They just do. Everybody has their breaking point. And I'm at mine right now because I'm helping everybody, but where's my help? And I know I preach a lot, your help comes from God. Yes, it's true. Your help comes from God. But as one person says sometimes, my dear says sometimes God takes too long. And I can't say that because his timing is not, it's not our timing. So while we're waiting, we have to be like Job. There's a correct way to suffer, and there's a wrong way to suffer. And like right now, what I'm going through is most definitely the wrong way to suffer, because you're supposed to praise him and be jubilant during the good and the bad. You're supposed to be able to always praise him, because when Job, when he found out he lost his children, his land, and everything, he stripped himself from his robe and his clothing, and he shaved his head, and he started praising God. Back then, I looked it up, and I forgot what it says about the stripping of the clothes and the shaving of the head has something to do with humbling or something. I forgot what it said the sign was. And this man had lost all his children, y'all. All his children, all his land, all his wealth. He was a well-known, respected man in his community. And he knew he was just a man after God's own heart, That's why God chose him. Chose him, have you considered my servant Job? That's why he allowed things to happen to him. And I just keep looking like Job was something else. Sometimes you go, she got the patience of Job. Job was something else. Job, his friends looked at him and complained, said maybe he did something wrong. His wife told him, you need to cuss God and die. I mean, he had sores and everything on it. Not once did he cuss God. He continued to praise. Now, he did have a moment, because I think it was like chapter 3 or 4 through 30 something, where he didn't hear from God at all. And he did have a moment, but not once did he curse God. And I am trying my best to stay positive, because that's what we're supposed to do during the good and the bad. You're not just supposed to praise him during the good when things are going good. You're supposed to praise him when you're going through when things are bad, because count it all joy when you've been afflicted. It's just thinking not strange. You know what I'm saying? Things are gonna happen. It's just that's how we strengthen our faith. It's just right now my faith is up there, but the flesh is a little weak right now, because the flesh is very vulnerable. And auntie just had to get on here and just be as transparent as possible. I need to let you all know, auntie has her days too. Gigi has her days too. And I'm managing to soldier through it. And like I said, I wasn't going to have any gatekeeping. I wasn't going to be on here lying or acting like I'm doing something or I am something that I'm not, because I'm not. I'm being very transparent right now. It is very embarrassing for me. But